And my topic is different from others. And this is about international faculty members who are already hired at universities. And particularly, my topic is concerned with their job satisfaction based on my national survey of full-time international faculty members at 4-year Japanese university. So this is a very limited sort of research focusing on not all international faculty members, but only part of them, because those part-time international faculty members is not included in my research, although perhaps they play a more important role in teaching and research in Japan's university, but I couldn't get data from those part-time international faculty members. My data comes from first, there are several steps for me to obtain the data based on which I talk. First, we search for odd profiles of those international faculty members by their names and also their profiles. Then we worked out a list of those international faculty members. Then we sent questionnaires to those international faculty members. We thought there should be international faculty members, but some of them replied to us. Although my name is not Japanese name, I have been naturalized. For example, I was naturalized 1 year ago. I was naturalized 6 months ago, or maybe 10 years ago, but I still keep my foreign name. So please exclude my data from your research. So here, my data is only concerned with those call it pure, real international faculty members. That is, citizenship and nationality. And because of minimum time, I cannot present you with earlier research. So the purpose of this study is to plot the job satisfaction of international faculty members at Japan University. I divided the full-time international faculty members into 2 broad groups. One group refers to those international faculty members coming from East Asian countries, from China, mainland China, and Korea, because according to our early research, the largest number of international faculty members come from China, followed by those coming from the United States. And the third largest group comes from Korea, and the fourth comes from UK. So the first group belongs to refer to those Chinese and Korean faculty. The second group consists of those coming from the United States and the UK. So my research questions are the following 2 aspects. What are the demographic, professional, and perceptual difference between Chinese, Korean faculty and the other group, that is American and British faculty? And the second research question is about how do the predictor, the factor, affecting their job satisfaction. And this is a very brief conceptual framework based on which I invest their perceptions of job satisfactions and factors affecting their job satisfaction. According to the earlier research, at least 3 sets of factors affecting job satisfactions of faculty members working at universities or colleges. First is they are, of course, motivators, origin, which includes in my questionnaire of the survey. This is a dependency variable that is about job satisfaction. We have one question. That is, how do you rate your satisfaction with your current overall professional environment? This is used as a dependent variable in my research. Here, I'm sorry, it's too small. And we have several questions relating to their motivation and hygienes. And first is about achievement. That is the number of articles published in academic journals or books published. Second is about recognition. For example, Japanese faculty and sorry, it's too small. I couldn't hardly read it. And Japanese faculty members Japanese faculty members recognize international faculty members as temporary visitors. This is about recognition and salary. This is the third. And the fourth is institutional resource. And fourth is about Japanese proficiency. All these questions are relating to their motivation and habits. Second set of factors is about environmental conditions. For example, collegiality, that is the top-down management style of their affiliate universities, and also their institutional openness, whether local faculty members are friendly to international faculty members or not, and academic freedom, and their independence in teaching or research. All these are concerned with environmental conditions. Regarding to descriptive, they are in the personal profiles. Please take a look at table 2. I hope that they can see this better clearly. Just provide some text on the right hand. As you can see, although the proportion number of Chinese, Korean, and American British faculty employed on a tenure target was similar, because I just mentioned the target population in my research is concerned with those full-time international faculty members. So a lot of similarities in their employment situation between the two broad types of international faculty members. There are more female Chinese career faculty, and more of them are professors than five. They are evenly distributed across disciplines like humanities, social science, natural sciences, and engineering. In contrast, most American British faculty were male-dominated, because a majority of them were married to Japanese women. And we have a why did you come to work in Japan? We have academic and professional reasons. We have family reasons. The largest of American and British academics answered, my wife is Japanese, or my partner is Japanese. Most of American British faculty were male, and were mainly affiliated in humanities and social sciences, because the majority of them were hired at private universities. And most of them are language teachers. In humanities, with middle to high academic positions of professor and associate professor. This is the basic profiles of my respondents. Table 3. She's an ANOVA analysis of their job satisfaction, rated. Significant difference could be found between the two different groups of international faculty members and regarding their job satisfaction. For example, Due to the high scientific contribution of Japanese laboratory efficiency of the first group, as the Chinese and Korean faculty, they were more likely to be recognized and to get involved in the institutional management and decision-making process of Japanese university. And also there's an additional reason. The majority of those Chinese and Korean faculty members were graduated from Japanese universities. And more than 80% of them received their final degrees from Japan's universities. In contrast, more than 80% of American and British faculty members earned their final degrees from countries outside Japan. So I think these are the most decisive reasons why there's huge difference between the two groups in this regard. And however, it seems that their engagement does not contribute to better perception of their working conditions, such as their salary, institutional resources, and academic freedom. Consequently, they tend to express a lower job satisfaction than American and British faculty. I think this is an interesting finding. Since they are well integrated in the local or Japanese context, but they show a relatively lower degree of job satisfaction than their colleagues coming from the United States and the UK. As for American and the British faculty, despite their perception of absence in university management and administration caused by disadvantages in scientific productivity and Japanese profit, because most of them are language teachers, they are not required to research or publish. They were more inclined to be satisfied with their working conditions like salary, institutional resources, and academic freedom, which lead to high job satisfaction. So you can find a clear difference between the two groups. Table 4 shows factors, that is the predictors affecting their job. Why? There were such a huge difference between their perceptions of job satisfaction between the two groups. I'd like to summarize my findings briefly. The main predictors of Chinese Korean faculty job satisfaction were from environmental conditions, including university administration, academic freedom, which refers to the independent teaching and research, and institutional openness, because the answers, more members of Chinese and Korean faculty members answered, the field local faculty members are more friendly, very friendly to them. They're not regarded as a temporary visitors. That would also give some structured interviews, as I just mentioned, because a large number of people graduated from Japanese university and academic network already before they were hired as their current universities. Whereas for American British faculty, despite the similarities with Chinese Korean faculty concerning the predictors in environmental conditions such as university administration, the significant influence from their contract types and their perception of salary cannot be underestimated. Their concern with independent teaching and Japanese skills were also strictly acknowledged. Also find, difference in factors affecting why have different attitudes towards job satisfaction. I'd like to conclude my talk by presenting the following main points. First, comparing Chinese Korean faculty, American British faculty tend to perceive better working conditions at Japanese university, including salary, institutional resources, and academic freedom in teaching and research, and express high job satisfaction. Secondly, as for the factors predicting affecting job satisfaction at Japan's universities, the Chinese Korean faculty job satisfaction was more inclined to be influenced by the intangible, I use the phrase, intangible factors from the environmental conditions of their affiliations, the university they belong to, such as university administration, institutional openness, and academic freedom in research activities. In contrast, the job satisfaction in American and British factor was found to be predicted by various factors, including both intangible factors such as their participation in university management and independence in teaching, and tangible factors such as their contract types, salary, and administration of resources. Thus, the tangible factors such as the stability of positions, independence in teaching, and amount of salary and funding were also found to significantly affect their job satisfaction. A wide variety of factors, including both intangible and tangible factors, seem to affect more their job satisfaction of American and British factors compared to those coming from China and South Korea. And last page of my talk, implications. Since the organization culture of Japanese universities administration companies plays a remarkable important role in affecting the job satisfaction of both the two groups. More efforts need to be made by Japanese government, higher education institutions, and local faculty members to develop a more open, more friendly organization environment as international faculty can be well engaged. So compared with those coming from the United States and UK, and the Chinese and Korean faculty seem to be better integrated to the local context. And further, as the study found that international effects of job satisfaction seem to be influenced by various factors depending on their demographic backgrounds. A more tailored and flexible support system needs to be constructed by Japan's university. That is, maybe for some university, what else need to be made to take more flexible, responsive to different types of international effects. For example, those coming from East Asia societies, those coming from Western countries, international faculty members who receive their degrees from Japan will already stay in Japan for a long time, 10 years, or those who just come to Japan or do not know about Japan's cultural or various cultures, a more diversified responsibility taken for different types of factors. So much for my talk. Thank you.
All right.